Hello YouTube land, how's it going? Welcome to 0 to 70 Studios. It's my third video. Again, I'm using the DJI. I've had the Sony out today. Where is it? The FX3, trying to do professional looking videos and all this crap. Here it is. Great camera. Believe it or not, I'm great at filming other people, but not myself. It's just too difficult. This DJI, I keep saying JI, is a cracking little camera. I'm really happy with it. It's just easy. I can just hold the thing, talk to camera, flip the little screen. There we go. Show you stuff. Have a look around. They're just brilliant. And that's why they use so much. I've got a little light here today. I don't know whether it's working. I'm not sure. It's a bit overwhelming. Right, a couple of things. So, firstly, this isn't structured. Again, I'm sorry. I know. I'm just blagging it again. But I want to get content out, and I'm not going to get content out if I overthink things and spend forever trying to perfect things. And the reason why I'm not looking at the camera is I'm just trying to boot something up as we speak. I inadvertently closed out Logic, and I wanted to show you something. So, additions to the studio. Don't know if they're going to be permanent additions yet. One of the reasons why I say that is because I got thrown a curveball. I wanted to see what the next level of speaker got me, and I was looking around, and what I was looking for, why do I always do this? What I was looking for was surgical and detailed listening for mixing, and eventually I want to get better at mastering my own stuff. Right now, I'm pretty much clueless. You know, I blag it like most people. But I do want to, I do master to a certain degree, because when I'm trying to pitch songs, I need them to sound like finished things. And so when you're pitching, it's quite useful to be able to polish off the song a little bit, and then obviously it's a better way to kind of get it to the right loudness level so it feels good, Anyways, there you go, some lighting. So yes, so I was looking at the speakers and I tried sort of various ones. I ended up going to KMR Audio in North London. Shout out to KMR Audio. They're really nice people, really helpful. I had a listen, and my intention was to go in, see whether or not there was anything speculatively that gets me to the next level. The thing was that when I was listening to the speakers, they're kind of out of context, and you can never really tell until you get stuff in the studio. Okay, I haven't done the reveal yet. You can't tell what they're going to sound like until you bring them in the room and actually try them out. And KMR will give you demo stock, and so they offered to hand me the speakers for about a week. But what happened was I got a little bit impulsive, and there was a little bargain on eBay, and so I ended up getting quite a good deal on them. And what I ended up doing, I'm doing it again, I'm looking at the screen and not the camera. What I ended up doing was buying them on eBay, and then I went to KMR to pick up the amp, because the speakers I bought are passive, not active. Can you tell what they are from that little clue? I'll give you a clue. They're high-end mid-range, so not big boy speakers, somewhere in the middle. So they're not Adam Audios, because I've already got those. A8H's, brilliant speakers. And actually, okay, let me do the quick reveal. So I picked up the Amphion 215s. There you go. There's 115, and there's 215s. No, that's a joke. They're called 215s. They're an MTM, so they're a two-way driver, mid, and tweeter, mid, tweeter, mid. They go down to about 45 hertz, which is fine. The Adams get you down to around 32 at -3 dB. These are running at about 45. They tail off maybe 44 hertz at a push at low level. They tail off quite quickly after that. It's got a steep curve. I'm going to be pairing up with a sub, but probably not the Amphion sub. Certainly not the dual system, which is over £9,000. But they've got a single sub as well. I think it's called sub 25 or something like that, and that's over 5k. Not to say it's not good, it's amazing. It's basically bass extension, and it would probably sit in the middle. I'd have to pull the desk forward, and it sits somewhere down there just behind the desk. At the moment I got the desk fairly close to the back wall. Anyway, these Amphions, when I listened to them, I was trying out the 115s that look like that pretty much, probably upside down, and I was really impressed with them, but it was out of context, and it wasn't till I came into the studio, set them all up. I've got the amp down there. That's the, it's called the Amp 700. That this whole system, the amps and the speakers, they retail for just over 5k, which is a lot of money. I didn't pay anywhere near that. In fact, KMR Audio gave me a really good deal on the amp that I wasn't actually expecting, and so thank you for that, KMR. And by the way, if you live in London, KMR Audio, you've got to go down there, and you've got, you know, if you're looking for sort of higher end audio, they're a brilliant shop, you know. Probably a little bit rich for my blood, but they do cater to all levels, you know. Check them out anyway. I've got no affiliation with them, by the way. And then I got the speakers back, set them all up, and I made the fatal mistake of A-Bing them with the Adams. And I say fatal because it completely messed my whole thought process up. The Adams are just so much more sort of wider on the spectrum. They go up to about 45 hertz. No, maybe 50 hertz or 45. And obviously the Adam Ribbon tweeter is that one there is very bright, and it really very detailed, you know. And they go down to around 32. The thing is, if you switch between the speakers, your ears are going to go mental. They're going to get very confused, because the Amphions go up to 20 hertz, down to around 44. They're more mid-range detailed, and they're really great for that everything in the mids kind of mixing. They translate really well, but so do the Adams, and it's got me slightly questioning my thought process now. It was a case of it wasn't broke, why am I trying to fix it? But I really, really wanted to know what the next level up was. And the next level up from these are obviously things like PSIs, ATCs, you know, some of the is it the PMCs, the sort of higher end ones you're looking at. The next level up from this is around the 10 grand mark, you know. And then you've got the key audio. I didn't need to go that mad with it. What I want is just a good surgical set of monitors that will really help me get my mixes right. I want to improve them. The other little purchase I made, which is actually very fun, is when you're mixing and mastering. See if I can get in close. It's the TC Electronics. I think it's called the Clarity M Stereo. They do a 5.1 version. It's been out a long time now. It's a really great little gizmo, and it just allows you to see your output levels. If I can get it going, let's have a look. Here you go, let's see if it will play. Giving away one of my tracks here. This is one of my master songs that I'm pitching. I'll put it at low level. But what it gives you your levels. Then there's a radar that gives you peak over time, which is good, because obviously when you're mixing for streaming services and mastering for streaming services, then they're interested in, you know, audible loudness over a period of time. You've got your program loudness in LUFS, and then there's this sliding 10-second kind of, I guess that's like a peak hold kind of thing for your LUFS, and then your loudness range. The correlation there, okay, that's giving you your I believe that's I'm gonna have to come back to you on that. So I did know, and I've completely forgotten. You've got an RTA, as you can tell, looking pretty bass heavy. It's looking like 125 between 60 hertz and 125. I've got a lot of bass info going on there. Are there any mix and mastering engineers out there that can tell me if that's a good good spectrum kind of frequencies. I think that looks about right. I think maybe the subs can come down a little bit. Then there's a scope, and I can see, oh look, I can see myself in the reflection. Hello. And obviously my stereo image is looking okay-ish. Looking at this, you know. By the way, I'm not using a lapel mic, so it's going to sound a bit naff, I know, but it's quick, you know. Turn that down a little bit. I've just got it on a loop, this song at the moment. You got your back to your radar, your RTI, obviously, and then you can calibrate it. There's loads of settings. I've only had it a day. I haven't had a chance to really drill down and work out what it is, but obviously you got your basic information there. And yeah, it's a great gizmo. It just means you can keep an eye on your levels while you're working, and not get too leery. And secondly, when you're doing your mix downs, you can just have that. It's just a lot easier than using a plugin. You can even put your logo on there, look, 0 to 70 right there. For what that's worth, it's pretty inexpensive. They're a couple of £100, but they're really great. I recommend them for anyone doing some mixing. Studio's a bit of a mess. I've got hard drives all over the place. What else was going to say? So yeah, so I bought the Amphions, and I've bought that. I want to do some more structured content moving forward, but I just have to get some stuff out right now. The last video I did was just an ad-lib. This is just an ad-lib. The audio on this one's going to be worse because at least I used the lapel mic on the last one. I completely forgot to. I'm going to hand you over to ATM45. It's a little song I wrote called Golden, and the idea is I'm trying to get a publishing deal, and I'm going to be pitching to publishing once I get to about 20 songs. Promise me you won't let go, even when your heart says no. You're warming in the sun's light rays. How's that camera? Feeling seasick? Life, it can be so unfair. Careful what you tell yourself, even when you're cold and overwhelmed. Golden, this whole life is broken. Life too short for folding, so live it like you stole it, even when it gets too much. This life is golden, splendor, precious like a newborn tender, innocent and running wild, even when the world seems so unkind. Hopeless, needless, we run away, run towards a brand new day, even when the world seems overwhelming. Chosen, this whole world is broken. Life too short for folding, so living like you stole it, even when it gets too much. This world is golden, like the changes in the breeze, golden, like the swaying of the trees, golden. Now you never would believe this life is perfect now. Promise me you won't let go, even when your heart says no. Life's too short to waste. Chosen, this whole world is broken. Life's too short for folding. So living like you stole it, even when it gets too much. This life is golden. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be singing that song. I've actually got a female singer who demoed it for me. She's amazing. She sounds like country Lana Del Rey. Actually, she sounds very Lana Del Rey. Very ethereal, and it really suits the song. And it's a much higher key. My voice is bugging at the moment anyway, even if I wanted to sing it well. But I just wanted to share that with you. I'm actually going to pitch that song, so I probably shouldn't put it out in public domain, but who cares? I wrote the song. It's mine. None of that copyright crap, okay? And yeah, I hope you liked it. It meant a lot to me, that song. It's supposed to be kind of positive vibes, you know, a bit melancholic. The whole world's gone to crap, apparently. I don't think it has, but, you know, during difficult times, just to say life is precious and we need to enjoy it. And we need to find the smile and happiness between the gaps, you know, and there's lots of people out there knocking it out the park. I'm sure most of you are too, but just in case you're not, it's just a little subtle reminder that life is beautiful, you know, and that we have to cherish it. Anyways, back to the other video. That was a crappy interlude. So that's what we should call it. That's my little stint. A crappy interlude. And I just want to play some songs because the channel's about writing. The channel's about recording. The channel's about production. The channel, I'm hoping, is going to be about community of songwriters and producers and writers, people that want to collaborate. If you go over to Nashville, there's a whole infrastructure. There's a whole different world out there of people writing, recording, interacting. They've got such a can-do attitude out of there. Yes, it's very competitive, but good. That means the cream rises to the top. And if you're not good enough, you need to get down and work harder. It's as simple as that. I've been playing live now since I was about 13 years old. I remember my early gigs were in bars. I remember a place called the Merlin's Cave and the Water Rats, which is still there. I mean, that's been going for such a long time. And yeah, playing dodgy pubs. The Thomas of Becket on sort of Old Kent Road at an old gangster's pub, you know, spitting sawdust, just cutting your teeth doing loads of crappy gigs. And by the way, for those of you that think AI is going to take over, I actually think it's going to spur us on. I just want to put some positive vibes out there because everybody's saying the world's going to end, AI is going to take all our jobs. Well, yeah, it might do, but you know what? Music will live on. People want interaction. People want to connect. Yes, we're over the airways, granted. But my studio's near Wembley, and I can tell you now, every time I walk past that stadium, when you have amazing bands playing, Lana Del Rey, you know, Coldplay playing yesterday, just the atmosphere and the vibe, people want to connect in real life. What I think artists need to do now is connect with their fan base, connect with their friends, build communities. I think it will encourage us out of our cubby holes and into the real world because AI is going to take over the virtual world to a degree. You know, I still believe that music will exist in its normal format and AI will live alongside it, just like petrol and diesel or whatever, you know, Betamax and VHS, where we all happen to, as long as we're not Betamax. And yeah, I think we'll be okay. I really do. I just want to be positive. I've been a little bit down on it lately. There's lots of industries that are going to be affected, but people want human interaction, okay? Now, there's big conglomerates and big companies out there that may want to take all the jobs. Good luck to them, I say. I do believe there's always a kickback. People will find a way. We're so resourceful. Musicians have had to survive so many difficult times. The whole race has had to survive different things. And yes, we've gone through hard times in the past. But I want a can-do attitude, okay? I want positive vibes. I'm probably going to do a podcast and a video on AI and what we can do to mitigate it as musicians and artists in all genres, actually. It's really difficult. I think the way to do it is to go into the real world. We need to go. We need to go analog, very much analog. Okay. I mean, I can hear the noughts and ones, and yes, some of those AI songs, especially sort of country genres, are amazing. I'm sure they can probably do it better than us in many ways, but it's not the same thing. It is not the same thing, you know. And if you want synthetic, fine, you know. And there's the argument that kids don't care, they just like a good tune. Well, that's true, they can enjoy that tune. Good luck. I don't mind if they want to listen to AI, but I don't believe they won't want to listen to real people. I mean, if you look at the way the industry's gone now, it's kind of based on huge megastars now, isn't it? On individuals and their personalities. And the music is almost secondary. You know, if you're a big Taylor Swift fan, you're a Taylor Swift fan, okay? And you want to connect with her on a real interpersonal level in some way. Live is where it's at. Hopefully there'll be more live shows. I mean, we've already had to adapt to live since you know when, the C word. And, you know, a lot of bands now can't make money through streaming, so they're going more live. We'll just double down and do more of that. That would be great. Anyways, I'm waffling way too long. Again, this video is way too long. Amazing J45. I hope you enjoyed my meager performance. Again, it's an experiment. I'm finding my way. Yes, this is all a bit rough and ready. I don't care. I just want to connect. All right. And I want to get some videos out there. And these are the quickest ways of doing it. Trying to set up the big fancy cameras hasn't really panned out for me, in the sense that when I do, I don't like the look of it. And maybe the DJI is the way to go. And yeah, the little pocket free, it's amazing. Love it. Absolutely love it. Right, back to the other video. Anyway, look, I'm going to disappear for a little while. What I'm hoping to do is set up this little podcasting area. I've been experimenting today. I'm really knackered because I've been trying to get it to look good. But so far, I'm not really happy with the results. I'm preferring this thing to my very expensive Sony FX3. Now, considering that I've done video work and photography to a professional level, and by that I mean I had to during you know when, you know, music videos and stuff. I'm great at shooting other people, making them look good, but it's very difficult when you self-film, you know. Who knows? You never know. My channel might get big enough where I can afford to bring somebody in. So anyway, I'm going to try and structure some videos a little bit less ad-libbed and a little bit more about particular subject matter. But you know, we like gear. I got my Amphions there, and they're super cool. And if anybody is interested in Amphions, I definitely recommend them. I would just say though, just be aware that the top end on them is a lot more rounded than you expected. 20 hertz up to, you know, the Adams, I was expecting not to be as big a difference as there were. An audiophile will probably tell you that the Adams probably distort more in the top end. Who knows? The Amphions are very fast, very efficient sounding, and they've got really great transients. And what I've realised is my initial reaction was slight confusion, but slowly, I've just been listening to the Amphions, and slowly, I'm starting to get used to them, and they're really growing on me. So I'm going to persevere. They need to have a good run out before I decide what to do. The one thing I'm slightly worried about is I'm not sure that the Adams and the Amphions play nice together. But the Adams are such great speakers. There's such good value. You know, if you really want a good set of three-way speakers, you know, there's the Head Type 20s, I think it's called. They're more expensive, and they probably slightly better, but I don't think there'll be much in it. But where the Adams win is you can calibrate them, and you can put your SonarWorks profile inside the speaker so that you don't have to deal with latency, and then you can choose through the software whether you want to use that at that particular time. So you can leave them on full range or what's the word I'm looking for? Sonar worked. What's the word I'm looking for? When you're tracking, if you just want to vibe and you want loads of bass. But the minute you switch them over to their calibration, they really tighten up. This room is fairly well soundproofed. I mean, I've got first reflections. So there's a baffle there, there's a baffle there. There's two clouds on the ceiling, doing some absorption. There's diffusion and clouds here. There's another 2 there. I've got 2 on the rear side, 2 there, and then there's more diffusion there. I've thrown some carpet down. I think I showed you this last week. This little padded wall I did myself, and behind that material, if ever you want to use rock wool that's I guess non-toxic, they do a type of rock wool that is safe. It's made up of ground up bottles, and it's basically plastic, and it works really well. It's not going to do a great deal, because really on this back wall, if anything, I should have some diffusion, but it's going to do a subtle amount. The room sounds pretty okay as it is, and so yeah. Anyways, that's me done. I'm just waffling as usual. But I make no excuses. This video is going to be slightly edited, maybe, I don't know, but certainly not going to over edit it. I want it to be au natural. Right, I'm going to say goodbye right now, so see you later, and catch you next time. Okay, bye.